Well, I think the problem is with the hyperspace reactor. Maybe a little laser blast will do the trick? Ouch! No, that's not it. Ah, a screwdriver. Thank you very much. And there you go. All we had to do was tighten the imagination valve. Oh, it's you, my friends. Thanks for the helping hand. Without you, we would never have been able to take off. And we have so many things to see today. From the deepest seas to a galaxy far, far away, via snow-capped peaks and erupting volcanoes. This spaceship will take us to unknown and imagined futures in this fascinating, exhilarating, and above all, innovative new episode at the heart of the magic of Disneyland Paris. So, pack your spacesuit, charge your robot, adjust your monocle, seal your astronaut's helmet. Oh, and don't forget your sense of discovery, because today we're setting off to discover, Discoveryland. Discoveryland is a present where the future is seen through the eyes of the past. An adventure in a timeless universe overflowing with originality, straight out of the imagination of some of the greatest visionaries in all of history. Here, each building tells a vision of the future, a desire for discovery, and a thirst for adventure. So, ready for takeoff? Let's go! Thanks, old boy. We're going to continue on foot. Because for once, well, I'm taking you not to the entrance of the land, but to Town Square, at the top of Main Street. Here on your right is one of two arcades on the street, Discovery Arcade. Yes, Discoveryland is the only land to have its own tunnel in Main Street, USA. Very practical for rainy, snowy, or sunny days. Or windy days. We always underestimate the wind. It wreaks havoc with my carefully coiffed hair sometimes and... Oh, anyway, let's forget the weather and enter Discovery Arcade, which mixes the Victorian style of Main Street, USA with the retro-futuristic one that we'll see later. Look at the green pillars that support its superb vault. Did you notice the little man in the corner? At the top there? The one with 4 arms. This is a reference to Leonardo da Vinci, one of the visionaries honored in Discoveryland. He didn't have 4 arms, by the way. On the wall, we find paintings of major American cities like Los Angeles, New Orleans, and Denver. But if we get a little closer, we might be surprised. An airship and a steamboat in New Orleans? Hot air balloons in 1996 Los Angeles? I know I didn't always listen to my history classes, but this seems odd to me. How about you? Yes? No? Don't worry, it's all quite normal. These paintings, with their Victorian style, represent an imagined, dreamed, invented future. As if we copied sketches from Jules Verne's notebooks at the beginning of the 20th century. With the passage of time, this vision of the future has become our past, and it's what we call a retro future. Is everyone following me? At the end of the arcade, we find real objects, like this showcase of electricity from the Paris Opera, which was actually the first fully electrified concert hall in the world. Luminous! Leaving Discovery Arcade and staying to the right of Central Plaza, we arrive at the entrance to Discoveryland. We see a beautiful winding path inviting us into a new world. For budding little geologists, I'll let you study these strange rock formations that seem to spring from Earth. Do the rusty colors and curious shapes remind you of anything? These rocks represent the inside of a volcano, like, for example, the one in Journey to the Center of the Earth by Jules Verne. That's right, friends. This visionary writer is honored in more ways than one in Discoveryland. So prepare to see and hear more about him later. In the center of the small square, just before entering the land, we find a curious sculpture. Its intertwined golden spheres pay homage to the movement of the stars in the sky that allowed the ancient navigators to find their way. And to reference the ocean, a deep-sea detail is hidden on the ground in a mosaic, a rather unusual spiral. It's an ammonite, or if you want to shine in science fairs, I will give you its other name, a nautilus. It is the shell that gave its name to Captain Nemo's submarine, the, Nautilus. There is no doubt we are now entering a world between sky and sea, past and present and future, navigation and imagination. Let's go! As we make our way into the land, notice the subtle changes in the vegetation. The Chilean araucarias and the other perennials cut into geometric shapes to look like a landscape of the future. Listen carefully to the music that immerses us in a retro atmosphere, reminiscent of the old fairs and universal exhibitions from the beginning of the last century, while before us stands a vision straight out of the future that will unlikely happen. Orbitron! Impossible to miss! With its floating planets and spinning rockets, Orbitron welcomes all visitors as soon as they enter Discoveryland. This planetary display has made its way into the hearts of scientists and explorers, like us, and pays tribute to the most famous inventor of all, Leonardo da Vinci. Yes, the one who painted the Mona Lisa. This is because Leonardo had many talents: painter, inventor, and scientist. But above all, he was a visionary, passionate about the stars. For a long time, we believed that the entire universe revolved around the Earth. However, my mate Leo, yes, I like to imagine that we would have been good friends. Well, he spent his time observing the stars and knew all too well that the Earth revolved around the sun and not the other way round. Hence the quote engraved at the entrance to the attraction, "Il sole non si muove." Yeah, well, I didn't do Italian at school. It means, the sun does not move. Since it's the planets that move, like on Orbitron. And that's what gives us the impression that the stars move across the sky over time. I don't know about you, but I love looking at the sky on a clear night, even if I always struggle to find the Big Dipper. But here, there's no need to wait until nighttime to see famous constellations, especially those of the zodiac, because they are all represented on Orbitron by their symbols. Do you know them all? Come on, I'll start. Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Whew, oh, that's a lot. 12 to be exact, like the number of rockets that circle Orbitron in this unforgettable journey across the celestial vault. The most daring astronauts can even control the flight of these rockets, increasing their altitude to several meters above ground level. Ooh, enough to land with stars in your eyes. Let's come back down to Earth a little and continue to the right of Orbitron to the futuristic highway of Autopia, where you can drive without a license, whatever your age. Here we pay homage to another visionary, Walt Disney himself. And yes, it's his love of transportation that drives this journey to a time of hope, excitement, and optimism, the 1950s. And if, like me, you prefer to travel with your feet up on the train rather than by astrocoupé, don't panic, because these smart racing cars will always take you to your destination. Ready for a retro-futuristic road trip with friends? On your marks, get set, go! It's another journey that interests us now. Darker, more disturbing, more mysterious. On our left is a strange lagoon lined with cloud trees. Yep, that's their name. These pretty trees, cut in the shapes of little cushions or clouds, represent water vapor. Do you see where I'm going with this? So, yes, they look super soft and comfortable, but they are mostly a reminder of the energy we were able to produce from steam at the beginning of the 20th century. Hats off to the Discoveryland gardeners. This graceful foliage lines Art Deco-style bridges that have railings topped with a golden N, right in front of a strange fish, all in metal and with round eyes that seem to beckon us to come closer. Can you hear those weird noises? I don't know about you, but I'm intrigued. I hope you can hold your breath, sailors, because Les Mystères du Nautilus, the mysteries of the Nautilus, awaits us! Let's dive into the hideout of Captain Nemo and his famous submarine, the Nautilus. Based on the novel by Jules Verne. I told you we'd come back to him, and I always keep my promises. So 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea and the 1954 Walt Disney Productions film, this attraction is an expedition to the deepest depths of the ocean. Every detail is reproduced identically in this submarine that seems to come straight out of the Belle Epoque. The Imagineers have managed to mix the technologies of the past and the future thanks to magnificent projections and lights as dynamic as me. The Nautilus is an ode to the beauty of the seabed, and the scenes that we see through its famous iris are taken from real images of aquatic life. On board the Nautilus, we pass through the captain's room, the treasure room, and, best of all, in front of the iconic organ in the Grand Salon. Sometimes, I wonder if it's essential to know how to play the organ to become captain of a ship. Come on, I'll have a go. Maybe not. Let's go back up to the surface. We have already traveled from the edge of the Milky Way to the bottom of the ocean. But let me take you now to a completely different universe. What do we see on the other side of Orbitron? That white, green and purple jumpsuit. That chin, worthy of a Greek god. And those retractable wings that have never known defeat. It's Buzz! Buzz Lightyear! The most popular toy in our star system. The one who always volunteers to save the universe. And brave friend who frees us from our... struggles? Okay, that's enough praise for Buzz. But it's impossible to miss this imposing 6-foot-tall statue standing on a powerful, equally impressive flying saucer. Here we are in front of a space station, the headquarters of the Galactic Alliance Star Command, where Space Ranger toys protect the universe from the forces of evil. Yes, Discoveryland is a land for all futures. So why not a future where toys come to life? I always thought my stuffed rabbit looked at me funny. Speaking of eyes, have you noticed how many eyes these little green aliens next to Buzz have? 3! With that, they must have super sharp vision. Perfect for Buzz Lightyear Laser Blast, because you need to spot, aim, and shoot fast to foil the plans of evil Emperor Zurg. Ready to become Space Rangers? As our beloved toys say so well, to infinity and beyond! Well, I don't know about you, but all this traveling has made me hungry. And that's good, because here we are in front of Café Hyperion. Let's stop for a moment at the entrance to admire the imposing airship that seems to rise from the hangar. That's it, the Hyperion, inspired by the Walt Disney Productions film, The Island at the Top of the World. The Hyperion airship has taken up residence at Disneyland Paris and is a testament to the spirit of adventure that has always flown humanity towards the future. How did it get there? That's a mystery. It is said that the Hyperion had only one captain and made 49 expeditions. But on the morning of what should have been its 50th voyage, the captain disappeared, without a trace. All that remains is this, his ship, moored in the Vidéopolis hangar and ready for departure. Its ropes are secured, its canvas billowed, its engines polished and functional. Oh look! See those carrier pigeons in small cages on the sides? Explorers of the last century used these birds to send letters to land. And if you listen carefully, you can hear them cooing. It is said that the ship is patiently waiting for the return of its lost captain, the only person who can take it once again into the skies. Oh, if you look down, you will notice a magnificent compass in the center of the blue mosaic. I don't know about you, but it makes me want to take up my compass, my pocket watch, a sextant, and put on a small monocle for style before setting off on an expedition to lands still unknown. This is because we are in the right place for this, since the Vidéopolis hangar represents an airport terminal, from which a fleet of airships departed for all corners of the globe. In any case, this is how the Imagineers designed the building. With its geometric elements typical of the Art Deco movement, combined with high-tech elements and references to science fiction visionaries such as Jules Verne. It is a place that immerses us in an eternal fictional future, like a parallel dimension that is both steampunk and modern. Oh, but you must be hungry, and I'm losing myself in futuristic contemplations. Let's enter this magnificent food and entertainment area. Café Hyperion pays homage to travel. Suitcases are waiting to be loaded for the 50th departure of the airship. Paintings depict the possible destinations, and even the Art Deco clock gets involved, since the small hand is a replica of the Hyperion. Come on, I'll let you enjoy a good burger in front of the stage where shows are performed, or in front of the screens on which short films are broadcast for the greatest pleasure of all. We'll meet at the exit when you're ready. Oh, and if you need to recharge your portable robots, your mobile phones, or any other intergalactic gadgets, don't hesitate to stop in the small room with the starry sky. Here, you can revise your constellations before setting off on your adventure again. As we exit Vidéopolis, turn around and look up. Do you see these round windows on the facade? Well, they are neither reactors nor portholes, not even really windows. These openings should have become corridors, connecting Vidéopolis to a neighboring attraction called Discovery Mountain. But this attraction was ultimately not built in favor of Space Mountain, and it became impossible to connect the two structures. We can still see the remains of this project thanks to the initials DM engraved on a few bridges. As such, evolution always creates something new, since these windows are now an integral part of the design of Vidéopolis, with or without a corridor. I now offer you an experience from one visionary to another, from Jules Verne to George Lucas, with the very symbol of Discoveryland, and the flagship destination for thrill seekers, Space Mountain! You can't miss it. It's the immense metal structure shaped like a volcano, in the middle of the land. With its retro-futuristic architecture, inspired by the Belle Époque, Space Mountain is a true ode to Jules Verne, and more specifically, his novel From the Earth to the Moon. We also see several references to our dear lunar satellite all over the building. In more recent years, we have recalibrated this canon a little to send us ever further, mixing Jules Verne's vision with contemporary creations, those of a galaxy far, far away. Does that ring a bell? The hyperspace of the Star Wars galaxy awaits us! Buckle up, it's gonna get thrilling! There's a reason the launch pad looks like a cannon. It certainly won't take long to get to our destination. Oh boy, it's starting! 3, 2, 1, blast off! We have arrived safely. Well, for now, because a new adventure awaits us. I was talking about a galaxy far, far away earlier, and, well, here we are. To our right, an X-Wing fighter rests on the octagonal roof of Starport, where you can meet iconic characters from across the Star Wars galaxy. To our left, a tetrahedron. For those who are less keen on geometry, it's a kind of pyramid with a triangular base, illuminated by blue neon lights, which draws us towards our next destination. Star Tours, l'aventure continue. Star Tours, the adventures continue. We are once again transported into the mind of another visionary, George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars. This saga, which began in 1977, revolutionized science fiction and our vision of the future. No wonder that 10 years later, George collaborated directly with Walt Disney Imagineers to create Star Tours. Initially conceived as a flight simulator, and now a modular interplanetary journey. In the bustling space terminal of the Star Tours company, we board a Starspeeder 1000, for a thrilling and unpredictable adventure. This is our improvised pilot, a protocol droid who doesn't mince his words and who you will probably recognize by his golden appearance. C-3PO. When a rebel spy is discovered aboard our shuttle, C-3PO is forced to hastily take off and make multiple jumps into hyperspace to avoid capture by the evil Empire. Since there is no question of letting the Empire seize this spy with vital information, the passengers of the Starspeeder, that's us, are swept up into an epic race against the dark side of the Force. Did you know, since its reimagining in 2016, this attraction offers a multitude of different experiences. No two journeys are the same. Once seated in the ship, it's impossible to predict where you will end up and who you will meet. I've ridden this attraction more than 10 times in a row to try and see all the combinations. And have I seen everything yet? I don't think so. No, put that lightsaber away, please. Yeah, you'll have someone's eye out. During this eventful journey, you may visit iconic places like Tatooine, Jakku, Coruscant, or even, spoiler alert, the Death Star, alongside legendary characters such as C-3PO, R2-D2, BB-8, Darth Vader, Princess Leia, and many more. So fasten your seatbelts, salute the droids, and prepare to embark on this always surprising adventure across a galaxy far, far away. May the Force be with you, friends. And now, my dear explorers, my deep-sea divers, my space rangers, my interstellar adventures, our excursion through the dreamed futures of Discoveryland is coming to an end. We have traveled through the minds of some of the greatest visionaries our world has ever seen, from Leonardo da Vinci to George Lucas, via Jules Verne and Walt Disney himself. We have sailed from the deepest oceans to the most distant galaxies, in an epic brought to life by new technology and imagination. But no need to come back to the present right away, because in Discoveryland, the future is a constantly renewed source of inspiration that is just waiting for you to imagine new horizons. So what are you waiting for? What? The ship is waiting for me? Okay, yeah, I'm coming. New discoveries? You sure? Oh, no time to lose then. If you enjoyed this podcast, please don't hesitate to like it or leave a comment. What futures do you dream of? I'd love it if you told me. Thanks again for listening. I can't wait to see you again for another audio adventure at Disneyland Paris. Until next time, friends!